Can you see my screen okay? All right, awesome. Thanks for the thumbs up. And we'll try to keep an eye out for others that log on. This is Business Sense and Branding. This is a free webinar course that's going to highlight some of the challenges that you may be having in your new business. We want to discuss also your business character, ways to promote and market, and sustainability. Also, along with that, I want to be able to answer any questions that you have as it relates to your business. Okay, so when we get through here tonight, we want to eliminate any questions that you have, and I'm either going to answer that question directly or be able to give you some referrals to those that can help you with the questions that you have if it's something that I'm not able to answer. Okay, so my name is Tricia Bray Smith. I am your instructor for this course. On the screen, you see my website and also my email address. That information will allow you an opportunity to reach out and or to follow me for any additional questions or courses that I have, and you want to keep up with what I'm offering. That information is there for you. What I need to hear from you is your name and also the business or the type of business that you own or plan to own. So if you'll unmute yourself and just give me your name and the type of business that you own.
My name is Lartavia Cook, and I own Yours Truly Crafts and Creations. And what I do right now is I sew masks, turban headbands, and I'll be sewing other things later on down the road, just various things like bonnets, blankets, just things like that.
Awesome, thanks for sharing. So that's good information to know. Since you have a workbook to go along with this course, you can see in that workbook that there's going to be a place for that in your business model. So if you would look through your business model pages, you'll see space for that there. It talks about the kind of business that you do, and you may ought to see it also in the marketing. I'm not certain, just thinking on it. So if you see that there in your workbook, it's a good idea to begin to look at that and start writing your notes in your workbook. The good thing about the workbook is that it allows you a place to put all your information in. It keeps it there in the same place rather than having it in a notebook and take a risk on misplacing that. So, right. So these are the things that I want you to know by the end of this course today. Some of the things that I want you to know is I want you to be aware of the challenges that you face in your business, and also not only be aware of it, but learn ways to overcome it. I want you to be able to identify the character of your business and also be able to make the necessary changes as those character flaws become aware to you today. I want you to be able to explore promotion and marketing practices that meet your business needs, because there is no one-size-fits-all business marketing plan that works for all of us. There are going to be some things that work great for you in your business that's not going to necessarily work for someone else. I want you to be able to create a business framework that promotes sustainability. So this is a business model or a business plan that keeps you in business throughout whatever issues or economic development crisis, pandemics, things like that, whatever comes about. So this just keeps you in business. It keeps what you do marketable. So we want you to be able to create a sustainability plan. And also I want you to have answers to the questions that you see. As we're moving forward, do you have any questions so far? All right. Now, we want to first address some of the common challenges that we have as new business owners. Some of the common challenges that we have as new business owners. And one of the most common challenges that we have as new business owners is being able to implement and understand our business plan or our business model. So in your workbook there, this is, you should see it at the top. It highlights business model. Do you have that in front of you? Okay, good. Okay, I see someone trying to log in with us. So I'm gonna admit them in. Please turn your audio on as you come in, and there you go. Welcome, Miss Snow. Thanks for joining us. We are already started. If you would mute your audio as you come on. Thank you. Can you see and hear me okay? Please type yes in the chat. And also you are, I see the thumbs up, thank you. And also you are being recorded. So if you're okay with being recorded, please also type yes in the chat. I'd appreciate that. It just gives me confirmation that you are aware that we are recording. And so we're just in the first phase of our business model, and we're addressing the common challenges. Some of the most common challenges that we have as new business owners is the inability to implement or to understand our business plan or business model. And what I find that is most challenging for some of us is that we started a business with just an idea. We didn't take the time to sit down and to really look at a business plan or a business model to prepare ourselves a blueprint, and to also use this blueprint as an accountability piece for establishing and the foundation of our business. So this is the first mistake that we make. And as issues come about, we find that this is why so many small businesses starting out are not able to withstand the flexibility needed to sustain and have their business in long term. Okay, so if you would look at your workbook there, where it talks about the business model, things that we don't have a problem doing is figuring out what our business name is and where we're going to be located and our mailing addresses and things like that. And so where we run into the problem is we don't think far beyond just those physical things, those physical aspects of our business. So as a small business owner, other things we need to take into account is that there are some accountability pieces that go along with our business plan and our business model. And what that says is now we're moving into a different tax bracket, a lot of us. We're moving into the possibility of some legal issues as a result of our businesses. And other potential situations to where we may find ourselves in need of the help of other professionals. And so some of the things that I want you guys to make known in your notes is that you need to consider also in your business plan and your business model an insurance agent. And that is whether insurance on a facility that you have. That could be if you're using your car or mobile, insurance as it relates to your vehicle, if you're using your vehicle for business purposes. Also, liability insurance for some of you, depending on the type of business that you have. So you need to solicit a business insurance agent for your business. This should be included in your business plan and your business model, depends on how you refer to it. And if we haven't already established a business plan or a business model, and we already have a business, then this is something that you really need to dig into right now. Another thing is an accountant. An accountant, these are the people that you should use to be looking into doing your taxes. These are not tax specialists. These are accountants. These are what they call them, PCAs or something like that, I believe. So you should be looking locally or someone who specializes in accounting in your area. Some of these places also offer bookkeeping. And so for your records and things like that, to make sure your taxes are being paid throughout the year, you may be able to find a one-size-fits-all as it comes to an accountant. Also an attorney. An attorney. So you want to sort out an attorney in your area, and maybe they have a monthly plan to where you can pay in every month. So in case you need them, they are available to you. And those are usually minimum in fees. They're usually minimum because you may or may not need them. But it's to say that if you need legal advice or you need legal services, you're buying into them, and as a result, they're going to provide you with consultation or whatever it is that you need when you need it. Okay? A banker. This is the bank in which you have your business account. Your business account. Now, guys, we think that just because we're entrepreneurs and we're sole proprietors that we don't need a business account, but this is farthest from the truth. So we can overcome our financial challenges if we have a business account open as it relates to our business. So if your business, you said that it was yours truly Crafts and Creations, then you want a business account open in that name. Okay? So that what that does as a result of that is keep your personal finances and your personal issues and debts separated from the business. So that's why we need a banker. You need a professional advisor, and that's a lot of where we miss as entrepreneurs, small business owners. We don't have professional advisors. We usually go to friends and family for advice, and they can only tell us what they know. And oftentimes the advice that they're given is so biased that it's not good for business. So it can make or break us. So you want someone who is a professional, who you trust, who you can share professional insight with, and they do not necessarily have to be in the same profession as you. Okay, so you need a legal description of your business. This sets as your mission, your goal, your vision. So if you don't have that for your business, this is something that you need to look into. What is your vision? What is your goal? What is your mission? What is your purpose? Ms. Snow, if you don't mind, if you would unmute yourself and come in and tell me the type of business that you have or that you're planning to have.
It's business consulting and health coaching. Hello?
I hear you. I'm writing.
Okay.
So a consultant and coach, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
So a legal description of your business that states your purpose, your mission, your philosophy. What is it that you believe as it relates to your business? Okay. Also, the status of your business. So for those of us that are already established but have not implemented a business model or business plan, how long have you been in business? Are you in new business? Are you in the first 3 years? Are you 5 to 7 years in? So the business status, that's going to be important. Also the type of business. So for you, Ms. Cook, that would look like crafts, right? And for you, Ms. Snow, that would be consulting or coaching and consulting. So the type of business, that's going to be important. And the reasons for your business. Now, when I say the reasons for your business is that should line up with your vision or your model or your purpose, your mission for your business. What problems are you solving? What problems are you solving? So we know that, Ms. Cook, you are solving immediate issues with the pandemic, keeping people safe and protected through protective gear. So you're solving that issue right now. But in the long term, when maybe this smooths over or as you expand, what other issues are you solving? How are your customers going to benefit? How are they going to feel? How they're going to be impacted through your product? And Ms. Snow, the same thing, you're solving issues as it relates to health and wellness and things like that. So those are the problems that you're solving. So it's the reason for your business. What problem are you solving? How are your clients going to benefit through your services? Added in that, you want to include your goals. Now, I want you to think about short-term goals, which are 6 months or less. I want you to think about intermediate goals from 6 months to a year, and think on long-term goals from a year to 5 years. So from a year from now to the next 5 years, where do you see yourself? Where do you see your business growing? And I suggest that as you're writing out these business models, that you use 2 to 3 for each set of goals. So at the end of it, as you're thinking about your business and the goals and the plans, you should have at least 6 goals written down. Other things that you need to consider in your business plan and your model is employees, whether or not you're going to use employees. And if so, how many? And if so, what kind of skills and personalities work best with you that would benefit your company? What kind of skills should they have coming in? What do they look like? What kind of personality do they have? And whether or not they need education or previous training to work with you. and you may not use employees right now, but remember also we're planning for long term as well. This is what a model does. It gives us room to grow and expand. You want to think about the cost for your service or your product. You want to think about the cost for your service and or your products. You want to think about your suppliers. Any suppliers that you need. Where are you getting those materials for the things that you're creating through your crafts? Know where you're getting the papers and the documents and the machines and things like that that you need or may need to run your business. So you want to think about your suppliers. You want to think about where you want to get your loans. Who's your lender? And this is why it's so important to think about opening that business account, because when you go and say you need a small business loan for $2,000 to make the next level of your expansion, you need to be connected already to a bank that can lend you the funds that you need, so that you don't have to get tied up in the payday loans and the things like that, like so many of us do. We don't want to get tied up into those high interest rate loans and things like that that serve us no good. So we really want to put ourselves in good standing. Also, for those like in my little town, we have small business loans through Little Dixie. And so we're able to fill out an application and get small loans from there. And having this model in place, having things that are tangible on paper, helps us when we're filling out those applications for those loans, because all we have to go back is pull out this paper and see that it's all written down. We already have a plan, and it just makes that process of it so much easier. Also, you want to think of any investments that's going to be associated with your business. For every $600 my business makes, I'm going to invest $100 of that into a IRA or something like that, so that I can still generate some income as it relates to my business. Or I'm going to invest in some stocks. So you also want to have that plan in place, and also you want to know what your projected revenue is for the year. So in a year's time, my projected revenue is maybe I want to make $30,000 this year. That's going to be important. So what that model does is give you a plan for overcoming the challenges of not having a good business plan and framework in place. Other challenges that we have is not really understanding what our customers look like or what it is that they need. And this is called our target audience. And this is a crucial step in understanding and overcoming issues as it relates to our businesses. So we have to be very specific when we're looking at the character or our audience or our customers. Me, I'm an author and I'm an educator and I'm a public speaker. So when I send out for a webinar, for a class, and when I send out information as it relates to a book, and I'm writing in my book, in my mind, I have to see the people that I'm targeting. So I have to tell you vividly what they look like. So for me, I have to know that I'm looking for women. I'm looking for them to be between the ages of 40 and 65. They are hardworking women. They are career-oriented women. They are probably Christian women or religious women or members of some religious organization. And so all of this, I have to know what they look like, because when I have a product or when I have a service to offer, I need to know where I need to go to find these people. So does that make sense for you guys? Just give me a thumbs up or nod your head if that makes sense for you guys. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So, Ms. Cook, if you'll unmute yourself, tell me what your customers look like. Thank you, Snow. Tell me what your customers look like.
My customers are women and children mainly. I really don't have anything for men, and until I get bigger or something, if I do a blanket and they want a blanket. I mean, some men have bought masks. Okay, men, women, and children, honestly, because everyone needs a mask during this pandemic right now. So it's all the above right now.
Okay,
but mainly women and children.
Okay, so you say women and children, so that is very broad. I need you to narrow that down. What kind of women?
Women who
What do they look like? How old are they? What does a typical day look like for them?
Women, they're ranging through all ages. Honestly, I don't have a age group. It's been from 2 to 50 right now. 50
okay,
years old.
So let's just focus on the children right now. So when you think children, what age of children benefit from your product right now? What you're offering right now? What age range of children can benefit right now from your product?
2 through 16.
2 to 16. Okay. Now let's look at the women. What age range of women are benefiting from your product right now? Let's narrow it down. The bulk, the majority of where you get most of your purchases from. What do they look like?
25 to 40.
So 25 to 40. Now you're narrowing it down. Now you have a niche to shoot by. Are they working women? Are they college women? What do the students look like? I mean, what do the children look like? Are they in the home? You know, what kind of household are they coming from? You know, are they single parent families? You know, what does the income of that family look like? So that's what I want you to be thinking about as you're narrowing it down and tackling this challenge as it may relate to your business. Ms. Snow, if you would come on and tell me, what does a typical customer look like for you, and what is it that they need?
Typical customer, I would say between the ages of 18 to 45. A lot of them need like business advice, resumes, how to cope with stressful environments, and just healthy eating habits.
Okay, so are these men or women? Are they already predisposed to health issues? What kind of demographics are they living in? What does the community look like? What does the healthcare resources look like? Are they food insecure? Are they health services insecure? What does that look like? And so you really need to narrow in on that. And where do you find them? Where are they? How do you reach out to them? Do they have internet? Do they, or are they in certain community organizations like religious organizations or things like that? You know, these are things, are they educated? So these are things that you're going to need to hone in on as we look at the area of challenges that we face in our business, okay? So once you're able to get that really narrowed in, and I hope that you have a notebook and paper and things like that beside you, because it's important that you're writing these notes down or recording me as I'm recording you, whatever the situation is. But it's important that you have this in your mind, because you're going to see where it's going to be beneficial for you later down the road as we go along, okay?
Okay.
Awesome. All right, we're ready to move on. Everybody good on that and understand what that looks like as it relates to the challenges that we face in our businesses? Good. Nod at the head. Awesome. The inability to research and to continue learning about the demands and the market relating to our businesses. Now, we know that everything changes. Nothing stays the same. And so when we stop learning, this poses a significant challenge on our new or existing business. And a lot of it stems from number one, where we don't have a business plan or a business model. So we have nothing to go by. We have nothing to make those transitions or those pivots in our business. So this is necessary. This is why we go through the steps of understanding our business plan and our business model, understanding what our customer looks like, but also understanding that things change, and as times change, then our businesses must also make the necessary changes to meet the demands as it relates to the market. And so what this looks like is that just because we own this business, just because we got this business started, doesn't mean that we stop learning, guys. And this is where so many of us get stuck. Every day ought to be an opportunity for you to learn something. You guys are here with me right now learning something, okay? And you don't have to be sitting in front of somebody like me teaching you, giving you a reflection of your business. This is something that you can use sitting at your home, streaming YouTube or social media or something like that. You're always learning, whether it's sizing up your competitors, whether it's seeing what people are doing that's working and that you know that you can use to help your business, whether it's reading the magazines, the business magazines, and seeing what's working and how people are making the necessary adjustments in their business. Whatever it is, when you hear me say research and continued learning, that is using every day as an opportunity to learn something so that you can apply it to your business, so that your crafts and creations are better, so that your coaching and consulting is better. And so what that does is it expands your territory and allows more people to benefit from your product and or services. I hope it makes sense, and if it does, give me a thumbs up, nod your head. Awesome. You guys are great. The inability to manage time, money, resources, etc., etc. And guys, you're going to understand this a little better as we move on to the next one. But if you are a poor manager of time, if you are a poor manager of money, if you have poor organization skills, it's going to pose challenges on your business. That's self-explanatory by itself. Why? Why does it pose challenges on your business? Because you are your business. You are your brand. And I cannot stress that enough, how important it is that if we have poor management, poor time, poor organization, poor financial skills, we have to work on it. We have to be willing to really take a look at it and possibly even get some help. So Deidre, where it is that you're coaching and consulting in the areas of health, there may be a coach that coach and consult in the areas of time management or finances or something like that, that maybe you guys can pro bono consultations between each other and help one another until you're able to make gains. So it's something to look into if we have these poor management skills, okay? Because they will affect our business, no doubt about it. And last but not least, the inability to connect with mentors and other professionals. And hands down, I believe that this is more significant than anything that I've talked about. Because people feel like when they see us at a certain place in our business, or if we have sustained business over any length of time, that we've done it all by ourselves. But guys, I've been at this thing for 17 years. And over these 17 years, I have had to make adjustments. I've had good times and I've had bad times, prosperous times, and times where nothing was coming in at all. But nonetheless, wherever it was that I found myself in business, I did not do it by myself. And regardless of who you say that's saying they got where they are and they're doing it all by themselves, all I have is one thing to say, and that word is lies. None of us get anywhere by ourselves. The idea didn't even just pop up in your head by itself. You had an ideal, or you were exposed to it from somewhere, from somebody. Okay, so it's nothing that we can do all by ourselves. It's not knowledge that we're just blessed automatically. No, because we have to continue learning. And so we need these mentors and professionals. But where we find it challenging is we go to ask somebody that maybe have the same business as we do. And we think that because we're starting the same business as them, that they're going to be so open to give us these information that we're seeking so that we can get our business off the ground. And then it's like you hit a brick wall. They don't want to share, or it seems like they're rejecting you. And so we take these things very personal, and we take it as if, oh, they don't want to help or whatever. But I always say that hurting people hurt people. And just like you may have been given the hand signal, get out my face, stop sign, or feelings of rejection, they also have been treated that way. So when you come up against this challenge of the inability to connect with mentors and other professionals, let me suggest that instead of next time just going in asking questions of them, try next time to first establish a relationship with them. That may mean connecting with them on social media and following them and maybe commenting on their posts, or maybe leaving words of encouragement for them, or if they're in the same town as you, maybe seeing them at the coffee shop and buying their coffee or something like that, just making small talk when you meet them in the store. That's what building a relationship is. Okay? So when you build a relationship with somebody, they are less likely to be rude or reject you when it's time to go in for the ask. Any questions with that so far? And I hope it makes sense to you, because I don't always want to just tell you. So many of us always talking about what the problem is, but we don't share with one another how to overcome these problems. So if you have a question as it relates to this, if I didn't make it quite plain, you can come on and ask a question. Otherwise, just give me a thumbs up or a nod of the head and we will move on. Awesome. So I hope that means that you guys are getting what you need so far, right? All right, good. All right, so those are the common challenges. If you have any other challenges as it relates to your business, what I want you to do for now is just write it down in your notes. And I'll do the best that I can to come back and address that with you near the end for our question and answers, okay? The character of your business. And so many of us, we miss this. We think of the physical things of our business and we leave out the psychological and emotional concepts of our business. And so this is where I want you to take a look, because people think that people are not buying from us. We're black, and black people don't support black businesses and things like this. Well, if you feel like that, then this may be one of the reasons why more people are not engaging in your business. Okay, because our business has character. And it's safe to assume that your business will assume the same personality or the same characteristics as you yourself have personally. Make sense? Your business will generally have the same personality as you. Why is that? Because you are your brand. I said, and I'll say it over and over again, you are your brand. So with that being said, this is why that audience or those customers, your ideal customers, this is why it's so important for you to know who they are and what they look like. Because if your personality don't mesh well with a certain type of personality or a certain type of person, it's going to affect your business. Over the past 17 years, guys, I've had to make some leap and bounds as it relates to my personality, as it relates to my character, as it relates to my attitude. And where I started 17 years ago, I'm not in the same place today. There are people that I worked with 17 years ago that I will not work with today. And this is why. So my personality has evolved. I have had to tackle my attitudes and my behaviors and the type of person I am, and I've had to call it into submission. I've had to change my vocabulary. I've had to exercise discipline and control, and I've had to improve my communication skills. My personality affects my business. And so if I'm not able to communicate with my employees in a healthy manner, if I'm not able to meet and greet my customers with a smile or a warmness, then it affects my business. Because what I do is provide services to people. What I do is educate people. What I do is write books to help people. So the tone that flows from all of that should be consistent with what I'm putting out there for my customers. So think about your character flaws. Think about the type of people that you enjoy really well. Think about the people that maybe you don't enjoy being around, and that it takes a little extra effort for you to be with them. So no problem. It takes a little extra effort for you to be with them. So write that down. What type of people do you mesh well with? Because 9 times out of 10, if your product is something that you enjoy and something that you benefit from, people that look just like you are going to benefit and want that same product. So write that down in your notes. Your personality, good qualities, qualities that may be flawed, things that you need to work on. Okay, next we want to look at what do your customers see when they research your business through your timelines and social media platforms. Now, this is also important. This is where a lot of us business owners miss it because we think that we're separated from our business. Well, that's can be farthest from the truth, because when we have a business, we are our brand, and everything that we do, everything that we put out there on social media is a direct reflection of our business. So think about what you have streaming on your timelines, whether it's a business page, whether it's a personal page. What image or what perception are you giving people if they log on to your social media platforms right now, whether it's a website, whatever it is, wherever they can find you? What image or what perception are you giving off to people? as you think about that, also think, is that the image or the perception that you want them to have as it relates to your business? Is that what you desire for your customers to see? Is it consistent? Is when they hear you speak or when they see you, is it consistent with the things that they see on your social media timelines or your website? Is it consistent? This is character. This is character. How does what they see from the images differ from what you really want from your business or for your business? So the image you want for your business, does what they see when they research your business or your brand, is it consistent or does it differ? And if it differs, how does it differ? Are you showing yourself to be on an emotional roller coaster? Or are you showing yourself to be hot-headed? Or are you showing yourself to be someone with a wider range of personal issues or personal problems? Are you showing yourself someone who is family-oriented? Or are you showing yourself as someone who is all about business, no work, no playtime? You know, you have the image that you want people to perceive when they think of your business, and you have the image of the things that you're actually showing. So think about that. How does it differ from the image you really want people to see as it relates to your business? Thanks for joining me as you're logging on. Just go ahead and mute yourself. And how does what they see similar to the image that you want perceived from your business? And so how you want people to see your business, how what you're already showing is it's spot on, then those are the things that you want to focus on more. We want to eliminate some of the mixed messages and begin to focus more on our real image, what we really want people to see, or what we really want them to feel when they are researching us through our timelines or social media platforms or websites or however it is that they're interacting with us. Any questions as it relates to the character of our business? And do we understand how important it is to understand that our business has character? Give me a thumbs up, a nod of the head. Awesome. And any questions that you have as we went over this, please go ahead and jot it down in your notes, and we'll come back near the end to address those questions for you. Promotion and marketing, and this is an area to where we think that it should be easy, a lot easier than what it is, but truth be told, we promote and market to our friends and family. This is a big old wide world out there, and we're only tapping into just a minute part of this world. Okay, we're just a small little dot in this big old wide world. And so when we promote and market to just friends and family or close friends and family who's maybe get a few sales for us from their friends and family, you know, we're not even tipping the iceberg, okay? We're not even chipping away at it. So when we get to thinking about promotion and marketing, this can pose some significant challenges on our business, because a lot of times we don't know who to promote or where to market, right? So when we think about promotion and marketing, we're looking at the advertising, we're looking at selling, we look at direct marketing, we're looking at sales promotions and public relations. And oftentimes we can't even get past the advertising and selling, let alone being able to move into uh, more dynamics of things. So what promotional or marketing strategies are you using right now for your business? Ms. Cook, if you would unmute yourself and share with me, what promotion or marketing strategies are you using right now for your business?
Right now I'm just using my Facebook page and asking for likes and shares. I've also done giveaways to promote my business as well. If they share and like and who, things like that to market. So far, I haven't done anything else besides that.
Okay, so you said a Facebook?
Yes.
So just
Facebook and Snapchat.
Facebook and Snapchat. So those are two streams of marketing and promotion that you're using.
Yes.
Or you're not using word of mouth or networking?
Yes, also word of mouth and networking. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, awesome, good. Melanie, what promotional marketing strategies are you using right now?
I have used Facebook. I really have not gotten started with it just yet. And I've also attended a conference, a women's conference, to try to promote that. And so right now I'm kind of at a standstill, but those are my main two outlets thus far.
So networking and Facebook, is that what you said?
Yes.
Awesome, okay. So it's important to know now what we're using. What we also want to take into consideration is how well is it working for us, and in what ways do we need to improve. So right now, looking at the strategies that you just shared with us, in what ways are your current strategies productive? In what ways are they benefiting you? Are the strategies you use getting more eyes on your business? Are the strategies you're using keeping a steady stream of income coming in? Are the strategies you're using building up your confidence? Whatever it is, in your notes, write down in what ways are your current strategies productive for you? In what ways is it benefiting you? And then as you write that down in your notes, you also want to take into consideration in what ways are those current strategies not producing for you in the areas where you hope for it to produce. That means, is it limiting you to a certain demographic? Is it limiting your access to people? So whatever that looks like for you, only you can decide. So how are you going to really understand how to promote and market it? Is understanding now what you're using currently, how well it's working, and in what ways are they not working. If you have 50 customers, is it the same old 50 customers? You're beating out of $5 or $10 every time you come up with a new product, or new people engaging, coming in. In what ways are your current strategies productive, and in what ways are they not? So that really takes being really honest with ourselves, especially as it relates to our business plan. As we looked at in the beginning, we have goals. At the rate we're going with the strategies that we're using, are we on target with our goals? Or do we need to reach 200 more people to say that the current strategy is really productive? And now we want to say, what promotional marketing strategies can you use to reduce your level of stress or non-productivity? because we know that when the stress level goes up, especially if it's not good stress, our productivity generally goes down. So we have to find that happy medium, that balance as it relates to our business. And one of the stressors in our business comes from this here area of promotion and marketing. We're stressed because maybe we don't have that reach that we desire, or we're stressed because maybe we got more reach than we planned for or bargained for. So what strategies can you use to reduce your level of stress or non-productivity? So we're looking in that area where we just wrote down the ways where our current strategies are non-productive. So we want to look at that. So where we are non-productive, the bad stress, the negative stress levels goes up. So then our level of productivity goes down because we feel like we're not really producing or not really successful. We feel like our business is failing. You know, so many negative thoughts go through our minds automatically as a result of that. So in what ways can we eliminate the non-productivity as it relates to marketing and promoting our business? Where can we advertise? What kind of platforms can we advertise on that are cost efficient? Where can we sell more of our products? Where can we put our products at that get more eyes and in the eyes of more people? So think about that. And I'm going to go over some of the things here shortly that I use that has eliminated some of my stress and what I do. But I want you to be thinking about that as well. So if you're just using Facebook and Snapchat to market right now, what other platform can you use, or what other free services can you utilize to market or promote your product? Give me a thumbs up if you're clear on that and ready to move on. Any questions that you have on that, please feel free to write it in your notes, and I'll be able to address that as we go along for our question and answer section that I have set aside for you guys. When we're looking at marketing and promotion, some of the things that I want you guys to really look at, and it's in your workbook, Ms. Cook, if you have your workbook there on the business and marketing page, you can jot down your answers there. I don't know, Melanie, whether or not you have a workbook, but you can jot it down in your notes. Some of the things as it relates to marketing that I want you to look at is to really, again, look at the customer that you're serving. And remember that I said we have to be specific in the type of person that we're targeting for our services or product. How will they find you? So for a person that is not on Snapchat or not on Facebook, or maybe they don't utilize it very much, how will they find you? And that's important for you to know as you begin to look at marketing strategies that work for you. How will they find you? Where will you go to find your customers? A child aged 2 to 16 may not be on Facebook. So where will you go to target and find that child that you said that was your target customer? You get how it adds up now? Okay, good. You see how that, so where will you go to find that child? Maybe they're on Snapchat, I don't know. Maybe it's another platform that you're gonna find them on. I don't know, but that's something that you can be thinking about, so that when you find them and you find that promotion outlet or that marketing strategy outlet that finds your customer, the ones that you narrow down and said that this is what your customer looks like, then you're going to know where to find them. So if they don't find you, you're going to find them. How will you keep your customers engaged? And Ms. Cook, you said that you use a lot of engaging them through challenges or liking and giveaways and things like that. So that's engaging your customers. But what if they get bored with that? What other alternatives do you have for engaging them? What other plans do you have to keep them engaged? Okay, because if you keep giving away, then what happens when you can no longer give away? You know, how are you going to engage them? So that's something to think about. Also, when marketing and promoting, you want to see who your competition is, and you want to follow them, or you want to study them. And this is where a lot of us miss it in our marketing strategies. We look at competitors as our enemy. They are not. Who better to learn from than somebody that's already doing it? And you're learning from their mistakes, or you seeing what they do that you like, but how you can improve it. And this is what makes it so wonderful with social media. Just like social media gives someone access to you, it gives you access to someone else. So you can research or Google crafts and creations, or consultations, or business coaches, or organizations, whatever your competitor looks like. Somebody is doing what you're doing, but they can't do it as well as you, because you are the unique factor in what you do. So you want to study what they do. You want to learn from them. And as you're learning, you're getting new creative ideas, and you're able then to apply it to your business, so that you're able to market and promote in greater places as well. So as you look at your competitors, what are they doing well? What are they doing not so well? How does your business differ from them? And how can you take some ideas that they do and make it your own and make it better? And it's not something that we have to brag about. It's something that we do silently and make the necessary pivots and transitions in our business and keep it moving, right? No one has to know that we're studying them. I look at people on social media platforms that are doing Facebook Lives, and I compare their Facebook Lives to my Facebook Lives. I compare their topics to my topics. And you know what? As I look at it, I believe some of them are doing the same thing to me. I think some of them are looking to where maybe they have been radical and out of control in how they give their message. And then as I give a lesson and a few days later, look like their tone is toned down, and that they're making pivots and shifts in their lives and how they're interacting with their people. So this is the way we learn, guys. There's nothing off limits as it relates to how we promote and market, and how we grow and continue to grow and gain access. And remember that I said about what I said about establishing those relationships. If you have competitors that you are following and that you are learning from, what better way to interact with their audience by leaving comments or leaving hearts or leaving likes? Because what that does, now they're seeing your name, or they're seeing your face or your image out there, and you know what they're going to do? They're going to go to your page, and they're going to see what it is that, who are you? They want to know who you are, so it draws and piques their interest. So do you realize how many people I've met over the past several months since the pandemic? How many people I've met just by doing that, just by making myself social, and just by hitting likes on people's comments and things like that. And it's drawn them to me. It's drawn them to my page. It's drawn them to my brand. But yet, we have to make sure that the character that we are presenting as it relates to our products and service is consistent. Now, they can't come to my page and see me blasting somebody all out and all this, you know. They can't see me unstable in a lot of different ways. They have to see consistency. You know, they have to be able to trust us. And in the beginning, all they have is the image that we're putting out there for them to see. I hope it's good stuff, and I hope you understand exactly what it is. But if you have the workbook, it guides you step by step for you to answer those questions as it relates to your business, right? Thumbs up if we're ready to move on. If you have a question as it relates to that, please go ahead and jot the question down so that I can address it here in a bit. Thumbs up. Awesome. Sustainability. What does it take to make it 17 years? What does it take to make it past our first year, our first 3 years, which are so detrimental to a lot of businesses? Because in the beginning, we don't plan. We don't have a good blueprint. We don't have a good framework. So what does sustainability look like? And as you can see in the model that's up there in the right-hand corner of your screen, this is the recipe for sustainability. Do we see that? How do we miss that? How do we miss that, guys? But we do. We miss it. But this is the recipe we need, and it has to be a healthy balance for us, okay? So, recipe for sustainability, you must be visible. People cannot buy your product. They cannot utilize your service if you are not visible. So that goes back to our marketing and promotion strategy. Where will our customers find us, and how will we find our customers? We have to make ourselves visible. So whether that's using ads, whether that's using word of mouth, whether that's getting our books and stuff on the bookshelves, in the bookstores, whether it's getting our products in the libraries, whether it's getting the communities involved or organizations involved, backing us, we have to be visible. And we're visible by building those relationships. We're not visible going in with questions first. Okay, so see the importance? Because y'all know I have a personality. You can come ask me some questions. I might give you the answer, but I'm not very warm in how I look and how I'm guarded when you come ask me, right? So when you're building that relationship and you're establishing that trust and you're going in leading by building that relationship, it makes people a little more easier to warm up to you and to engage with you. So you must be visible. It's important to sustainability. Next, you must be social. And we know that this was my hardest area. I've learned to be social over the past 4 or 5 months. I've learned to be social. I missed this for so many years, 17 years in this thing. I was not social. So I'm learning this. Not only was I not social, I wasn't visible. People didn't know who I was. People in the community barely knew who I was. They didn't know I lived around the corner from them. So these are very important components when we look at sustainability. We must be visible. We must be social. So that means, if that means spending 30, 40 minutes blocks out of an 8-hour period of time sitting in front of a computer and liking and sharing and engaging in other people's posts, being visible and being social, I have to do just that. And that is what I'm learning to do. So if you've had something on social media like a live or a post, every now and then you'll see me go in and like and share and things like that. And maybe even leave a comment every other day. I leave a comment just so that I'm visible, just so that I'm social. And so when I offer a service or product, then people are more likely to engage. Make sense? We have to be flexible. We have to, and this is where I find that our business model and our business plan comes into play. We have to be flexible, guys. I had 13 people sign up for what you're here watching me do tonight. How many has showed up? There's been 3 of you guys that show up. One had to leave out for another call, which is understandable because we know that life happens, and being the job and the career that she does, that she shared with us, we can see how she'd have to step out and to do that. But we have to be flexible. We have to be able to make those transitions and those pivots in our business so that we can sustain. Remember that I said in the beginning that things are constantly changing. Nothing stays the same. So we have to be flexible enough in our business plan and our business models so that we can make the necessary pivots and transitions. Okay, so just because something changes, if the masks are no longer needed, we're done with COVID and the pandemic and all that, what can we pivot to? You already have a plan. So whereas somebody that just wanted to make a quick buck and do masks, when masks are no longer needed, guess what? They no longer have a business. But you're planning and you're thinking forward and you're here and you're learning. So guess what? When the masks are no longer needed, you're already building up your inventory with the blankets and other things like that. Because guess what? It's going to be winter time soon. Our environment is changing. Our weather is changing. Our seasons are changing. Our creativity, all that changes. So do we wait until winter gets here before we decide to start making blankets? No. What we do, we make enough masks, get enough masks in our inventory that we're going to meet supply and demand for the next 3 months. And in the meantime, when we got that built up, we're going to start making blankets, and we're going to start making quilts, and we're going to start making hair accessories, whatever. Okay? We're planning, we're forward thinking. This is why the first component, the business plan and the models, are so important to what we do. We have to be flexible. We have to continue to be creative and be prepared to make those shifts, because as time change, we change. And last but not least, which is where so many of us business owners miss it, we're not committed. So if you are not committed to what it is that you do, you cannot sustain. If I hadn't been committed to educating and doing what I do, I wouldn't be here 17 years down the line. I'd have gave it up a long time ago. Because I'm committed, like I said, I've had productive times, I've had non-productive times, I've had times where revenue streamed in, and I've had times where the revenue dried out a little bit. So you plan in the times of plenty for those times to where there is not enough. And so this is why your business accounts are important. We talked about that. This is why it's important to be passionate about what it is that you do. You must be passionate about what you do. Otherwise, when the tough times come, it's going to be hard for us to stay committed to what it is we do. So those people that are in for a quick buck, or just making a mask or providing a service and it's quick buck, there's money in it, most likely they're not committed to the process. Most likely they're not planning ahead. Most likely they don't have a good business plan or a business model or a good blueprint in front of them to sustain. Make sense? And we're ready to move on. Give me a thumbs up or a nod of the head. Oh, you guys are great. If you have questions as it relates to sustainability, please jot that down in your notes. I just want to share with you at this time some of the resources that I use in my business. And you guys may be already using some of these resources. And if you are, fine. And if you haven't, or you haven't heard of it, or if you want to check into it, please feel free to jot these down. I wanted to share them with you because it can help eliminate some of the stress in what you're trying to do for your business, and it can also improve your visibility and sustainability as you begin to find ways to make the necessary pivots in your business to meet supply and demand. One of the first things that I use that is important to what I do is a mentor. Now, these can be paid mentors or they can be free mentors. Now, whatever that looks like for you, it is what it is. Please jot that down. you want to use a mentor for what it is that you do. It's necessary. And like I said, your mentor does not have to be in the same line of business as you. It's just somebody that you can confide in and that you can share ideas with, that you trust to give you feedback. Do I suggest you use family and friends? Not all the times I do, because like I said, family and friends are biased. They love you and they want to ensure that you're in good space. And so some of the information that they give you or that they share with you is not always the best of interest of your business, best interest of you, but not necessarily your business. So consider seeking out a mentor. Motivational books and audio. And why did I include this in my resources or list of resources that I use? It goes back to where I talked about we always think about the physical side of the business. We always think about the physical side of things. What about our emotional side? What about dealing and interacting with customers that add added stress on us, that even when it seems like our world is falling apart, we still have to give that customer 100%. We need that mental muscle. We need that emotional support. And a lot of times, if we can't get it from family and friends, because usually they're the ones that's draining us the most, we have to depend on motivational books and audio to help keep us encouraged, so that when we give out to our customers from 9 to 5 or from 10 to 3 or whatever it is that we're providing our services, because we're going to narrow that down too, right, in our management. We're going to narrow down the time which we're operating business. Just because we are entrepreneurs and have our self-owned business, you're not just going to contact me all anytime you get ready. These are my business hours. So this is the way that I'm managing my time. If you want my time, you want my business hours are from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. You contact me within that time, we can talk. You contact me other than that time, then there's no deal there, you know? So we turn out those phone calls, we turn out those conversations. We don't provide services during those hours where we're not have time already managed and ready for that, right? So motivational books and audio, because we need that emotional support. Another thing that I've learned to use is Canva, and I use Canva. I use the free service on Canva. Canva, if you haven't already subscribed with them, they have a free 30-day pro trial area that you can try with them. But this is where I've used to create my graphics now. So I've used Canva to create my graphics. If you see the picture of me with my arms stretched wide and with the text in there, I created that on Canva. Just a picture of me with that text in there. Thanks for your time. You know, it is what it is. And if you've surfed my social media platforms and timelines, you've seen many of my graphics that I created myself there on Canva, and they were free. Another resource that I use is buffer.com. Now, after I create graphics on Canva every week, and I go through and I create graphics, I go to Buffer and I upload those graphics to Buffer and set a timer on them. Once a week, I usually do this on a Sunday or a Saturday when I have downtime. And so I'm allowed to upload 10 for every social media platform on Buffer. They are linked to LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. And so all I do is create a graphic on Canva and I circulate them on Buffer. So I set it in Buffer, and every day of the week at a certain time, it's posting to whatever social media outlet that I've scheduled it to go on. And that is free. I use the free version. Now, if you want to do more and you want to do a paid version, that's totally up to you. But for now, starting out, just to see how does and how it makes things so much easier. So now I don't have to be sitting in front of the computer and worrying about what I'm gonna post before my week starts. It's already uploaded and ready to go. So it just made things so much easier for me. And it doesn't take me, now that I've done it for a couple weeks, it doesn't take me 10 or 15 minutes to load whatever I'm going to load. And many times I'm just recirculating things that I've already circulated. Because did you know when people stream your timelines and your social media pages, they may not recognize it the first 2 or 3 times. Sometimes someone has to see something 7 times streaming from your social media pages before it actually draws them in, or before it really causes them to engage. Okay, website, I use my website, and I use a free website, as you can see through my website address. It is .weebly.com. Weebly is what I use to build my website, and I did it myself, and it is free, and I make the adjustments on it every month. Once a month I go in and make updates to my website, and it's simple and easy to do because I'm only changing whatever it is I want to add or take off. And oftentimes it's something that I've already done. If it's a graphic, I've already created that on Canva. If it's a course or something that I have coming up, it's already created, and all I'm doing is adding in the link to it. Weebly is really easy to understand, and it's really easy to make the necessary changes and adjust as time goes on. So I use the free version. So I haven't gotten to the point to where I'm ready to pay for something that is already working for me in its free version, you know. So we can add those things, and what that does is it allows people to have more access to me. So people that are not on social media or not using Facebook that much, they can access my website. They'll go to my website. And so I know what image that's giving off of me, you know, because I'm totally in control of that. I'm not going to go on a rant on my website, you know. Social media is another thing that I use. And like I said, I use a variety of social media links. I use Instagram. I use Twitter. I use LinkedIn. I use Facebook. I use SoundCloud. I use YouTube. Okay, so there are a lot of things that I use as it relates to social media. And am I having to make different things for all these different social media platforms? No, I'm not. I'm generally sharing some of the same information, just uploading it to whatever that media outlet is. So I'm doing things one time, but I'm able to stretch it as time goes on and make the most of it to get it in the face of the people that I am targeting. Also, another resource that I use is an alliances, and you guys are a part of IMSA. That is considered an alliance. Alliance is where people of certain candor come together and we mentor and support one another. And this is what we do. So this is what we have in mind. Other alliance that I'm associated with is the Authentic Collective. If you haven't already registered to become a part of that community, as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur, I do encourage you to join that community. It is aclive.co, aclive.co, not .com, .co. And that is in the workbook. And so if you haven't already made a profile in that community, let me encourage you to do so at this time, because it is highly important that we connect with professionals and build that alliance so that when we have challenges and have questions in business, we're already connected to people that are willing to share and give us clarity and insight and direction without being biased. Okay. Now we're up to the point to where I want to answer any questions that you have. And if I can't answer questions, I do want to guide you in the direction of where you can get those answers to your questions. So if you give me just a moment, this is where I'm going to end the video. I'm going to end the video. This going to complete the recorded version of Business Sense and Branding.